Guys, what the hell is the weather in England this year? What the friggity frickin' frack? So it doesn't look like it. The reason why my camera looks like this, by the way, is because the sky is white. Why is that, you might ask? Because it's been raining all day. In fact, it's been raining back-to-back days, as you guys all know. I keep getting caught out in the rain, like while I'm in the middle of recording. And I was like, I haven't been outside, because the thing is, when I go outside, I like to be out for at least like a couple of hours, like outside. So as much as I like the rain, I can't really come out in the rain like the way I like to when I want to actually just be outside. But for once I checked the weather. Yeah. For once I checked the weather. And I also want to talk about this divorce that's happening. I checked the weather, and every single hour of the day it was saying there was above a 50% chance of rain, which right now it's like, I don't know, 50, 60%. Anyways, you wouldn't believe it. It's like 8 p.m. But I was like, if I don't go out, ain't no way I'm coming out in these kinds of weathers in the middle of the night, which is again annoying. It's like you can't win. Like, I'll be honest, yeah. I genuinely feel like this country is cursed with its weather. Like, I feel like it's a genuine curse because the weather's just never right. Like, it's never like cold enough that you become like accustomed to the cold, and the country's built for like being cold. And then it's also never hot enough. It's never hot in the right way where it's enjoyable. It's always insufferable because it's so humid. And literally last week, was it last week? Yeah, for like 2 solid weeks there, we had the frigging heat wave, another bad thing that took place in May. We had the frigging heat wave. For like 2 weeks, it was insufferably hot. Like, insufferably. I've been to hot places. Do you know what I mean? And it's just not the same. And then that is over. And then immediately it's 2 weeks of just rain and thunderstorms. What in the freakity frickin' frack? And I think it's a curse. I kind of think it's a curse because you guys know I feel like countries carry energy, and it would be like one of the most miserable places on earth that would just have weather that's not right. That's just never right. I don't really know how to explain it because it's like this country gives you a lot of things to complain about in a different kind of way. Little things like this, because I mean, it's the Sabbath. I would love to spending time outside today. All I've done is be inside and do nothing. Well, that's not true. I've done a deep dive. We're going to have to circle back to a particular topic that we haven't spoken about in a while. So that's part of why I go out on my walks, because it's like I'm walking so fast. You can tell like I'm not walking for enjoyment, but like to just get it out of the way. Also, I'm just wearing the hood on my head. I'm actually still wearing a t-shirt and shorts because I just can't be asked to hold an umbrella. I can't be asked to wear a jacket. I don't want to wear a jacket. That's why I bought one jacket. I was like, I'm going to buy one jacket I'm going to use for everything, because I don't like to feel restricted, as you know. I don't like my hands to be restricted, hence why I always wear bags that don't require me holding them with my hands. That's why I have to have my arms and my legs out as much as possible, because I hate the feeling of restriction. I hate it. So I'm not exactly the happiest of bunnies about this situation. But anyway, hold on a minute. So yeah, it's just been literally like lightly raining the last couple of days. And again, this is the worst type of rain for me to just sit there in. So at least when it's like pouring it down, you kind of like know it's raining. But when it's like lightly raining, you're just kind of slowly soaking yourself. And then you end up, or at least I do, end up wetter than you were planning. Because I don't mind getting a little bit wet. That's why when it's just like a little 1 hour rain, I won't even go out like this. I'll just go out as I normally do. I literally dress the same all year round. Isn't that crazy? And it's because I live here and I know like, you may as well just deal with whatever happens. There's no point like changing my wardrobe. I just either wear a coat or I don't, because it's not going to get that cold in winter. And when it does get hot in summer, it's going to be sweltering. So, and the summer's only going to last 2 weeks, because even people have been joking about the weather. Saying how, well, that's our summer done, isn't it, England? Like, I'm like, yeah, that probably is, because it's usually only ever 2 weeks of actual like summer weather, and then back to just whatever this is. But yeah, I wanted to take a minute to while I quickly run my errands. Why do I feel so exhausted? Because I've been sitting on my arse all day. I haven't been rejuvenating myself with the Lord's caffeine, aka oxygen, because I haven't been out properly. So I'm feeling like a shell of myself. But anyway, back to the back of it. This is why I find it fascinating, the concept of people traveling to England as well, by the way, because it's like there's no real way to plan for it. Like, there's some places where, you know, in this season it's this weather, and then like the whole of the like country shifts and like changes to suit it. It's like a tourist season, and then in another season, like every people change tires and stuff like that. That type of stuff doesn't happen here. You just wake up and you just hope for the best. It's so weird. Where am I headed? I'm actually worn out. Thank goodness I came outside. Because the thing is, the sun's going to set in like an hour. And best believe I'm not coming out. Like I said, I'm not coming out with this strange weather. I was swinging my windows. Got the windows open because I'm like, oh, finally the nice, cool, rainy air. And then the winds were so bad, I was like swinging my freaking windows shut. It is really annoying. Anyway, so I actually need to take a second to take a breather. All right, I feel like a billion times better now. What was I saying? See, this is what I like to do. I hate holding something. I hate my hands not being free. The only time I'm not bothered, funnily enough, by something being in my hand is literally like this when I'm recording. That's so funny. It's the only time it doesn't like cross my mind that you're actually holding on to something and it's actually a nuisance, because I actually want to be here. Nevertheless, I wanted to quickly circle back to my current heartbreak story with the divorce of the Sidemen. And like, the more I'm thinking about it and the more it's unfolding, I genuinely haven't experienced like the stages of grief in a very long time. See, now I'm getting tempted to walk way further than I was planning on it. And I know it will happen. Then the storm will hit, and then God will be like, you see? And then I'll be like, so I'm just gonna be a good girl. Yeah, I really feel like I'm going through the stages of grief with the Sidemen thing. Like, I'm not even joking. I know it probably sounds silly because it's like they're just these YouTubers and like you don't know them, but like it's like this year is just heartbreak after heartbreak. And that's why I'm saying the weather sometimes I find to be so in tune with, I mean, and the Bible talks about it. The Bible even talks about how, you know, creation is waiting, you know, for the sons and daughters of the Lord, essentially. Because, you know, when we sinned in the garden, no one talks about this now, but it wasn't just us who were cursed, that everything was cursed, including the earth. And that's where I believe a lot of things that happen on the earth, why they happen, because it's not just us as humans living under the curse, it's also the earth itself. Because obviously we were given dominion. Hold on, can I put this jacket in my thing? But holding this is just annoying. I should have just left it and just been like, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But what was I saying? The distraction levels is crazy, by the way. Not me still bargaining if I should just take a sharp left right now, and we're not going to do that. We're going to stay behaving, and we're going to behave, because it's happened to me before. Because I'm just out here, and I'm just out here on a walk. It'd be different if I was actually going somewhere like by car and stuff.
I'm telling you now, please.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? There's just stuff going on in this town at the moment. There's some angry dude at the bus stop. It looks like he's probably drunk. And yeah, he's obviously going for it. To be honest, when I see people like that, I'm like, that's how I feel on the inside. And low-key, I need to get better at dealing well with things, because I think if I was freaking people out more with my behavior, in the past though, I've had angry behavior, and I told myself, never again. You guys would be surprised at things I've done. Sometimes I see people like that, I'm like, oh, that's how I feel on the inside. I've just spent the whole day, what I was really doing is getting updated on the Britney Spears situation, which, shock horror, she's now checked into rehab because apparently she's got a drug and an alcohol problem. And I was just like, and I just felt the anger in me rising even stronger to like, just this need for this revolution that I've been talking about. Because I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. And it just goes to show that I was right again. People are like, you people need to get over it because she's gotten out of the conservatorship. I'm like, says who? Says where? And like being reminded of all like the little details. Hold up. So you could say I'm lying when I say that I've just been doing nothing all day. I've been preparing myself mentally. Like, the more things happen in this world, yeah, the more I feel more deeply this needs like to just like retaliate is the only way I could put it. And so that's kind of how I'm feeling now, where I'm just like, I swear down. Because even, what do you mean? And like re-going over the details of the Britney Spears case, I haven't finished. That's actually what I plan to do for the rest of the night, because I don't plan on sleeping for whatever reason. I plan to deep dive into more of the details, right? Why are there so many people? Oh, it's a Saturday. But why is there so much activity? This is why I wait till late in the night, because it just makes me uncomfortable. It's like walking around and just watching us all as slaves walking around in chains. That's how I feel walking around. That's why I have to be like by myself, out in nature, alone, far from everyone, so I can pretend I don't exist long enough to like actually think. But anyway, so yeah, I felt that man's feelings deep in my core. It's just like, it's so frustrated about something, and it's like you can't even react to it the way you want to. Like I'm saying with this whole revolution thing, I'm like, how do I pull this off? How are we going to do this? Because I'm sick of just waking up every day, going about the motions, and then just repeatedly being given reasons to hate this world that I'm living in, like more and more. And like just seeing, even with Britney, all the stuff that she went through when she was younger, because obviously she was already pretty famous by the time she was already famous. Well, she's obviously older than me, and so while I was still a kid, I was hearing a lot of stuff about her, but it wasn't registering. And like seeing that they were literal posts about like her virginity of a 16-year-old girl, I'm like, this is what I've been saying. This is what I'm saying. Everything I research, it's like I'm so right about this world. I'm so right about it. Because I've been saying the older generations are so weird when it comes to children. Why do they always sexualize them? And whatever. And like, I'm just like, why do you care so much? And do you know what one ticks me off the most? And it's because he's all high and mighty and proud now. There was one interview I saw with Tucker Carlson and I don't know who the other person was, but they're having an interview on the news, and he was being asked, like, they were talking about Britney Spears, yeah, like she's some specimen, like some spectacle, right? Because the interview was like, so Tucker, you actually got to meet Britney Spears and interview her. What was it like talking to Britney Spears? And he was like, well, you know, she's actually so young, you know, she's so young. She's just 16 at the time. It made you think that it would be inappropriate to have any sexual thoughts about her or something like that. I was like, why are you all weirdos? Why are you all weirdos? Like, this is why even I've been thinking about shaving my head. That's why, like, it's so weird like how circling back to the Britney Spears story arc has reminded me how much I understood everything that she did, because she shaved her head. Why? So she could stop being sexualized. Like, what can you possibly do? Like, what does she have to do to be treated as a human being? And this is Britney Spears we're talking about. This one, like, I'm so glad to not be beautiful like her and talented. I'm so glad I was never talented or beautiful enough. Like, I'm so happy because I still like experience a crumb of that. So I can't imagine the whole entire world and the older generations who permitted basically anything degenerate and having to go through that. And it's heartbreaking. And now she's gone to rehab. Coinkadinkally, right after she sold her catalogue for 200 million. We've not heard from her. Magically, weeks later, she's caught a DUI. They didn't catch her on a DUI. They made her do a breathalyzer. She didn't hit any of the whatevers you call it for the breathalyzer. So they had no proof on that. Even when her dementia, because that's how they got in the conservatorship in the first place. They suggested she had dementia. And this is back when it first started, which makes no sense because usually old for older people. And it means you forget things and all of this, like your brain is deteriorating. But meanwhile, she was actually doing all this, her Vegas residency, teaching her dancers, doing her performance. And part of her Vegas residency contract was that she had to be on all these medications. I should have just gone to the other place, but whatever. So I'm just so ticked off again. And that's where I've just been contemplating for a couple of hours. Like, this is why I have to go out because my head just gets so hot and I just need the cold air to touch as many of the surfaces of my skin as possible. Because, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? And this is where she is now. And this is exactly why. This I was thinking, this is why I don't want to do anything with anyone. This is why I don't want to do anything with anyone. I don't want to be in any type of the world's version of success because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And so to think that just from the age of 3 years old, this is all she did. This is all she knew because she was already being put out there, just like how a lot of parents are doing that today on social media, putting their kids out there to entertain the wider public. Yeah, no choice on what's happening. And I've been noticing it. Like, even one of my favorite dancers, she's one of the most incredible dancers, but recently somewhere I saw her say she's been dancing since she was 3 years old. And I'm like, these people didn't get a childhood. They never got to live for themselves. Literally ever, same thing, Charli D'Amelio, she's the other one who I've been looking into because, again, Charli D'Amelio is the girl who basically made dancing on TikTok like popular. And Charli D'Amelio was another one. When she was getting famous, I remember seeing her videos and I was like, I can't watch this. It's like a teenage girl dancing in an inappropriate manner for her age, in my opinion. And she's the first one to reach 100 million views on TikTok. So I'm like, again, it's all the adults watching, participating, the kids seeing her as some kind of an example or whatever, which also, again, ruins my generation because then the girls want to do all of this, right? And then and whatever. Turns out she's recently decided to detach herself from her family. And I'm having to sit there watching her dad on live stream talking about how, there's just people in her ears. We never did anything wrong to her, but you can see it because it was there. It was documented. We all watched it. I watched it. This is why when people were saying to me at the time of TikTok, like, oh, you should go on TikTok and you should make dance videos. I was like, I'm not doing that. If this is what that community is about, sexualizing children, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be on TikTok. I'm not going to be making dance videos for nothing. And to see her actual father, like, so I'm saying it's the families that are doing it. Like, even with Britney, that was the reminder. I was just like, because I'd recorded some videos today. I wasn't going to upload them. Maybe I shouldn't, because there's a story about this licensed relationship therapist who ran off with her brother. Well, who ran off with the other in-law. So, like, she was an in-law. And there was 2 siblings. And they both got married. The people they both married ran away together. And one of them being a licensed relationship therapist. Yeah, this stuff you people all believe in. And the story's crazy, but I'm going to upload it. Same thing happened to my friend who found out that, and the way her mum met her stepfather is her stepdad who I met. I used to be around them all the time, and her mum was always a stickler. Don't worry, guys, I did videos about this, so those videos are going to go out before this one. And we found out, I was with her when she found out, the man her mum married, of whose wedding I was all there at the reception, he was the husband of my friend's father's sister. I'm like, this world does not disappoint in being disappointing. This is family. This is family. This word everybody believes in. This is what I'm seeing. And it's the same. The story goes. Michael Jackson, like Justin Bieber, like you could keep, the list goes on. The list goes on. And so when I heard this stuff about Britney and that we're back here again, and again, it's we're just worried about her. This is why, you guys, I do my very best to not have any excuse of any diagnoses. This is why you don't catch me making any excuses of any ADHD, autism, bipolar, because the second I do, everything I say is going to be disregarded. It's going to be like, oh, she's just having an episode. We're just worried about her. This is why I'm so glad I was never successful while I was still an idiot. Because then people would just take over and be like, oh, we're just going to have to control her money because we're worried about her. Listen, guys, what happened to free will? God gave me free will, so how do you have the right to take it away? If I get rich and famous and whatever, and I decide to squander all my money, that's my business because I'm the one who created it. That's what I was thinking about with Britney Spears. Who's anybody to talk on her money? You get on stage and do what she's doing. You go out there and do what she did. And you know what's crazy? You can tell just from her personality how different she is from these people, because she was just nice and pure and genuine. Nice and pure and genuine. So, of course, the people doing it, they're losers. They've got loser energy. Their issue isn't even not having talent. Their issue is that they're losers. All these people are losers. So I'm like, yeah, had that reminder earlier today. And now I'm back on the deep dive because I'm like, we're going to need to reignite Free Britney on a very serious level, because I'm not sitting around for this. Like, this is just another part of everything I've been talking about. And I'm like, I'm not sitting around for this. I'm not. I don't care what it takes. All I'm trying to do is figure out a strategic plan, because I know that running into these ideas without actually having planned what I'm going to do is stupid. Without an actual plan and something to pitch to the people. So that's the only thing that's keeping me delayed. But once we get there, once we get to the point where I've got an idea, I've finished my plan, because it's in the works, and it has been for like a long time now, a couple of years. Guys, I will be unrelenting with the Kingdom of Darkness. Absolutely unrelenting. Because all these stories, they just burn like fire inside my body. This is why I'm too hot. Like now I'm sweating. I'm sweating, I'm burning hot. Like I realize that's why I'm always burning hot, because I just feel this deep fire, like from working with kids and seeing what they go through, from knowing what is happening in the world, from watching the devil laughing in our face, from looking at how weak the Christians are and deluded the world is. It literally sets me on fire. Like I feel like I'm on fire all the time. That's why I'm never cold enough. Even now, I've been out, my hands are supposedly cold. The first thing I'm going to do is have an ice pop and a cold beverage and open my window and take off as many clothes as possible and turn my fan on while it's this weather. And I want to frostbite because I need it to help me regulate my temperature, because I don't know, guys, I just feel so much passion in my heart about this stuff. And it's not because I'm angry. This is why being the black woman, the angry black woman, I've just accepted fair. So be it. What no one seems to understand is I'm passionate like this because I care. Because I care. Because my heart breaks for everyone. My heart breaks that this is the state of the world. This is the state of what's happening with kids. This is the state of what's happening in our governments. This is what's happening in the state of all these different countries all over the world. My heart breaks that people are struggling in life right now, and that they're not able to provide for the people that they love, and that our whole life is about survival. My heart breaks because of that. My heart breaks, seeing the state of relationships and how friend, family, all this stuff doesn't mean anything. Love anymore. I'm not angry at everyone. My heart is breaking for everyone. And I'm not good at articulating that because, you know what? I feel like people need to be shocked. People need to be burned a little bit. Because I've been thinking, had the thought, maybe I should traumatize everybody into a revolution. Maybe I should just keep saying all these horror stories. This is why I've been doing it. And explaining why I don't want to be alive, why I don't believe in these things. And just keep drilling it in. Because if I could, I would force everybody to watch those underground tunnel tapes. I would force everybody to sit and see what's happening while we're just happily, casually living our lives, turning a blind eye to what's happening to others. I would force everyone. I would hold everybody by the neck and force everybody to watch it for hours. And then say, you're just going to go back to your normal life now. You're just going to go back to your normal life. You're just going to go back to living selfishly. This is what I would do if it was up to me. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. This is what I would do. Because I just think it's so selfish to just ignore this stuff, or to be like, oh, because it makes us a bit uncomfortable. Because we're all suffering from it. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's not just Brittany. We're all suffering from it. And the more we pretend we're not, and the more we ignore it, the more we do. The more we do. So I'm just like, I can't think about anything else, because there's no point. If I go into the industry, it's corrupt. If I go into a scientist, it's corrupt. If I go into the church, it's corrupt. If I go anywhere, it's corrupt. If I work for a company, they're probably corrupt. It's corruption everywhere. It's corruption. Love don't live here. So this is why I'm like, this thing with the sidemen, it's almost like the Lord is just, it's almost like, a lot of times with God, because he knows that I don't care. I'm not like others who are desperate for the attention, admiration and affection and love of others. I'm quite happy just being a nobody that nobody knows. That's just in fact, that's what I would be ideal. That's why I don't like being out like this. I'd rather be out in the middle of the night when no one's out. No one wants to be out. All there is the animals and nature. No humans, right? No human interaction. But then God knows me, and he knows that once I get annoyed enough about something, then my inner justice warrior comes out, and then I have to do something, and I can't help but doing it. And I almost feel like Disney buying Crunchyroll, which had One Piece, which used to be my go-to, like, safety blanket. The Sidemen now breaking up, which was like my safety blanket. Like, everything that was like my safety blanket. All these forests being cut down. I didn't even go into any of the forests over the winter. That was my other safety blanket. It's almost like he's just, at the same time as that happening, I'm just being confronted every single day, every single where I go, when I go outside, when I go to the supermarket, when I'm teaching, doing my job, when I'm around anyone, when I'm around Christians, when I'm trying to just, study the Bible and whatever. Everywhere I'm confronted with this. And it's almost like the Lord wants to just set off like a firework, like at this point, because I'm like, God, I don't know what you're thinking here, because I'm either going to this is the thing. I know with me, I'm either going to actually just end it, as in my life, or I'm just going to throw caution to the absolute wind and just be like, you know what? Who cares what happens? Who cares what happens? I'm going in all guns blazing. If I start this thing, I got to this point a few days ago where I was like, you know what? I don't even care about the jury of the sheep. I don't even care about people being there. I'm almost ready to just do what I'm doing by myself, and whatever happens, at least I know I did my best. Even if there's nobody else to trust in to work with me, even though it would be better if there was people, because the whole Britney Spears story arc, what is it? The story arc is they work hard in the PR to control what the people think, so everybody thinks they're being so caring, looking out for Britney. Because again, the devil plays into what we do as humans, where we want to think of ourselves as good people. Oh my gosh, her family's so worried about her. Thank God she's got people around her to help her with her this and help her with her that, right? The devil plays into the fact that we want to see ourselves as good. And that's why he's able to get away with these things, because as somebody else pointed out when I was doing my I was looking into this again, what was the key thing here that got Britney Spears out of her conservatorship and got her any justice when we first got to hear her voice? And I remember hearing her voice live, because thank God for technology, right? And I remember hearing it, and I took note to myself of every single detail she was saying. So I've got that in one of my notebooks. And why did that all happen? It wasn't because of the justice system. The judge who even gave her the conservatorship wasn't even an active judge. Britney wasn't even there. She never even got an actual doctor to confirm. So all they have to do is know that the jury of the sheeple, the jury of the stupid sheeple, is going to just believe, of course there was justice. Of course there must have been a qualified doctor there, qualified this. This is why I was like, I have to upload the videos I did before, because I'm all talking about this licensed therapist, relationship therapist. And when you hear the story, oh my gosh. And what saved her? It was the people. It's because the people, the #Free Britney movement, that you guys, this is literally what the channel started on, right? That's why I was like, is this the full circle moment? Because this might be the full circle moment I've been waiting for. Because this is where we started, right? And I didn't know a lot of the things I'm talking about now, I didn't know. We've been studying it for the last 5 or 6 years. It was because of the Free Britney movement and the people showing up outside the courtrooms and the people talking about it and the people looking at all the information that was already there. Because everything I've said about Britney, it's not alleged, it's there. You can go and see in the court paperwork that is public, but the public don't do their due diligence. This is why people are not good at things like maths and science, and I say it all the time, because people don't know how to do their due diligence. They just hear the first version of a story and run with it. Story of my life. I've been in that situation 100 times. Story of God's life. Right? People have all these issues with God, and I'm like, did you ever have a conversation with yourself with God? Because you see me, I couldn't give up on God and then just be like, oh, but I never got to talk to him directly. But I never talked to him directly. I have to have had a conversation with the man. That's why I'm like, I need to have talked to you myself. I'm not going off what somebody else says, because what am I going to do? Look like an absolute idiot when I get to flipping Judgment Day. And God's like, yeah, but you never actually tried to talk to me directly. You went off what your family said, what your friends said, what they said at church, the pastor. Nah, not for me, mate. So I get it. Like, I can see it black and white. And it's just like, I feel like just because she's endured the things that she has, people just think, oh, we're just going to go with whatever we first heard. But the information's out there if you're looking for it. It's the same thing like I say about God. It's like, if you're really searching for the truth, you will find it. But most people aren't. They're just searching for a handout. Like I said, everybody wants a savior, but everyone wants to be saved, but no one wants to be a savior. And everybody just wants a handout. Everybody wants somebody else to fix it and to do the work. And this is how the devil uses it against us. That's why the Bible even says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge in Hosea 4:6. Lack of knowledge. The information is there. This is why it's funny that we wanted all this tree experience. Oh, Lord, we're going to eat from the tree, the knowledge of good and evil. But then we're not even studying the knowledge of good and evil. We're not even going to even use the knowledge that's there anyway. We're just here taking somebody else's take on it. So yeah, I'm so fuming. And that guy screaming in the background, yeah, it's struck a chord within me, because it's like, that's where I'm feeling somebody who's feeling an energy on the same wavelength of how I'm feeling about everything right now. How that man was shouting at whoever he was shouting at on the phone. And again, we live in a world where everyone's like, oh, but if you could just, it's so nice how eloquently and calmly so-and-so said this and this. It's like, sometimes you don't want to be eloquent and calm. Do you think we should have been? Eve, we're all here because Eve was eloquent and calm and understanding to the snake, to the serpent. Kill the serpent. Why are we talking to serpents? But everyone's like, oh no, that's just the best way. And we don't know what's happening with the mega pastors and whatever. It's a horrible thing. But, you know, we can just have an adult conversation. Listen, Jesus was flipping the tables in the temple. I wish I could have been there. Like, this is something. People would not like Jesus. Christians today would not like Jesus. If Jesus was doing it like the way he was doing things before, Christians would not like Jesus. This is why you don't know him. Because you wouldn't like him. You wouldn't hang out with him and anything. Anyways, it's starting to like lightly rain, which is my sign I need to get on my get up. But anyway, this is where my head is at. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for whatever's next. But the wind is actually winding. I can't believe I did this while the wind was just tearing me apart like this. But it's not that bad. This is England. Like I said, it's bad, but it's never like an extreme. I'm not going to get caught in like some thunderstorm, tornado, or like whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever extremes, whether it's super cold or it's never going to be that bad. So I'm never that like, I'm just like, it's tame. It's very tame. The weather's very tame in this country, so I'm never that worried, you know. But I try to be a little bit wise. But yeah, so that's where my head is at. And I'm glad I had a chance to actually say this while I'm outside, and it's just, the fresh air and just nature and just, I'm so glad that I just had this moment, because the sun's going to actually set soon, and I don't think I want to be coming out late night. But dealing with this world, man, every time I remember that I live here, I just feel like the fire in my body just like arising, and I'm just like, I feel like I don't know, like I feel like I'm just ready to just like attack, you know what I mean? But I have to do it in wisdom, because otherwise I'm going to fail like those that came before. And so I have to be strategic about it. And so I also have to think clearly. Anyways, before it gets any windier than this, if life's a game, it's play to win. Check out those videos, by the way, that I talked about, because the stories themselves are juicy in a juicy sense, but they're also terrifying when you think about it. And like I said, I think a lot of this stuff is way more common than any of us realize, because none of us are opening up and admitting to anything, because we're all living in shame and we're all sweeping things under the carpet because we don't want to have to deal with it, even though we're still dealing with it, which is what makes it stupid. Anyway, life's a game, is pay to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you in my next one.